Welcome to The Right Angle, where we discuss all things writing related. Today we're going to do a walkthrough of Atticus. It's a new formatting software for Windows. As many of you know, there's a software for Mac called Vellum, but this is the first decent formatting software they've come out with for Windows that will allow you to format for all platforms, including print books. When it first appeared on the market, the features were less than stellar, and I chose to continue to use Word to format my books, even though it's not the best either. They've made improvements in recent weeks that make this my new go-to software for formatting. So let's take a look. Okay, so we're going to start here in Microsoft Word. If you don't have Microsoft Word, you can also do the same things in Google Docs. It is a very similar program. I actually write in Scrivener and then I export to Microsoft Word. So that's where we're at now. You can tell, looking at this book, it's been previously formatted, but I'm going to go through the steps to show you how to format for Atticus. Yeah, I know it sounds silly. You're going to format a book to put it into formatting software, but there's a few things that you just need to do before you can get it into the formatting software. The first thing you're going to need to do is go to Chapter 1 and delete everything before it. Then do a File, Save As, and save it as your Atticus upload document. The reason you're going to do this is so that you don't end up overwriting your existing document in case you end up needing to go back to it for some reason. Now, after you've gotten rid of all of the front matter, go to the end and get rid of all the back matter. I will leave the sample chapter in the back, but everything other than that will go for formatting purposes. So then we will save it again and go back to the beginning. Now you'll see here I have all these little doodads, scene separators. I need to get rid of those also and replace them with something that Atticus will recognize. Okay, so first I'm going to change my view to one page so it's easier to see what we have going on here. And now we're going to go over here to navigation. You'll see, so let's close that so we can start at the beginning. Hit Control F. That will bring up the navigation pane. And then over here you'll see this little arrow next to the X. Click that little arrow. Then choose Replace. Then here in the Find and Replace tab, if you're replacing an image as I am, you're going to type in the caret, which is Shift 6, will get you the caret, and then G, and that will search for the image so that it can replace it. And then I'm going to replace it with 3 stars so that Atticus will recognize what I'm replacing it with. Then I hit Replace All, and you'll see here it replaced 93 items. And we can close this, and that is that. So you'll see here is heading 1, and there's usually one next to it that says heading 2. Oh, here it is, heading 2. So for the main chapter headings, you want to go with heading 1. Go back. And then for the sub-chapter headings, if you have them, let's just stick one in here just so you can see what we're talking about. Subheading. You'll want to go with heading 2. We're going here to headings, If yours aren't in a nice neat list like this, you can just search for them by going here and type in chapter, and then it should take you to all of your chapter titles. Okay, once you've done that, you should have everything all set. And you'll see this does have headings and footers. Atticus will ignore that, so it's fine if that's in your document. So the next thing you're going to do is just save it again and close it. Head back into Atticus. Once you're in here, you're going to click Upload. Choose the file that you just saved. I named mine Atticus Upload Doc. Then you're going to type in the title, the author, the project name, and choose Go Get 'em Atticus. Once you get your formatting right, you should have in here your chapters, your epilogue, and your sample chapter if you're going to have one. For your sample chapter, you'll go in and you will choose, uncheck this spot where it says numbered. So click on these three little dots and uncheck numbered. And for your epilogue, you'll click on the three little dots and you will choose convert to epilogue. If you have a prologue up here, you'll do the same thing. You'll choose convert to prologue. Since I don't, I'm not going to do that. And if you have subtitles and they didn't come through, you can add them. So if we wanted subtitle here. Okay, so now if you want to see what it's going to look like formatted, you can click on the formatting tab. And there's a bunch of different options for how you can format your book. And you'll see how I have a 1 and then chapter 1. To get rid of that, you just uncheck where it has number, and then it will just have my chapter titles. But if you had a chapter title that was not something as simple as chapter 1, you might like to keep both. So going back to the writing tab, up here at the top you'll see in blue is formatting. We're going to go back to writing. We need to add our front and back matter before we get into the formatting. So you're going to have a title page, copyright, and table of contents. The table of contents is automatically generated, so you don't need to do anything there. For your title page, that's also auto-generated, but you might want to change it. I recommend making your own. I made mine in Photoshop, but in whatever imaging software you like to use, or you can save a Word document as a PDF for your title page. It's not going to look as nice though as if you did it as a PNG with no background. So let's show you what that would look like. You can do add chap or add here down here, and we're going to do full page image. And then I'm going to hit the plus sign. Now you'll see they saved way down here at the bottom, so I need to move them. You can just drag all the way up to the front matter. And do the same with this one, all the way up to the front matter. Okay, so then we have the title page. So we'll delete this old title page. And then we can rename this one, which you do by clicking up here where it says full page image, title page. And then on this one, it'll be copyright. And then we can delete this extra copyright page. Then we have title page, copyright page, and we go into our front matter. You can also maybe, if you'd like, put your also buys in there if you want them in your front matter, or an epigraph. So let's do that. We'll put an epigraph. Actually, we're going to use one that I've already created. You can actually set templates in here. You'll see from templates. These are templates that I've created in here, which you can do all by yourself. Like say here, we've made this epigraph. Let's say we wanted to make it a template. We could just type in what we wanted. And then do, where did we put that? Okay, it's right here. Just do, click on those three little dots again, save as template, and it created it for us. Of course, we don't really want that template, so we're going to delete that file, and then we will go into the templates and get rid of it. Now, when you're in the templates, you'll be able to see you have, I think this is the real epigraph, but that's where they would be saved. And then if you have back matter templates, you can save that, put those in. So I have my also buys, and I keep doing that. I want to choose from template. So also buy. Then from template reader letter, and insert the information that needs to be in here. So you click on the link and add the link, insert, you want them, and in the order you want them. One thing I forgot to mention, when you are in here in the formatting tab, not in the formatting tab, in the writing tab, in any tab really, if there's something you don't want in the print book, like say you have something that has, okay, so here's the epigraph. I want that in the print book. So I'm going to choose include in all. Dedication. You click there, include in all. But in the back matter here, let's say the reader letter, it has links and stuff in it, so maybe I only want it in the ebook. So I can do, instead of include in all, I can do include in ebook only. Once everything is as you want it in the writing tab, you can then move on to the formatting tab. So in the formatting tab, you're going to have a bunch of themes that you can choose from. You'll see there's 1, 2, and there's only one on the last page. But those are all themes you can choose from, pre-made themes, or you can create your own theme by clicking Create Custom Theme over here. We're not going to get into that in this video, but I am going to use a custom theme that I created. So my themes, I'm going to click on Endless Mountains, because that's the theme I created for this book and this series. I'm going to uncheck number. I'm going to check image, uncheck subtitle, and you have a choice here between drop caps and lead-in caps, or you can use both. And you can either do them at the beginning of the chapter or after every section break. I'm going to say don't use drop caps if you're doing this for an ebook, although they do display okay in some, they end up not looking right in others. It's probably best to just avoid them. Lead-in caps are usually okay in ebooks, so I go with that. Also, unfortunately, they haven't given you the option to split it up. So say you wanted to do drop caps at the beginning of a chapter and lead-in caps after the chapter breaks or section breaks, it won't allow you to do that. So you have to do it it's either one or the other. It can't be both. So we're going to go here with the lead-in caps. Then you can choose whether you want your paragraphs spaced or indented. I always go with indented. Then you can choose down here for your section breaks what you want them to look like. So you can use one of theirs, or you can install your own. You'll see I have mine set to 25 for the width, and I installed my own, which you do by clicking here on the custom image and just uploading the image that you want. But they have a lot of ones you can choose from, so if you're happy with theirs, just use them. Then for color images, you can choose all or ebook only. I'm going to stick with ebook only. And for print settings, I'm going to stick with Open Sans. And over here, author title at the top and the numbers at the bottom is my preference. And I go with 6x9. And then under advanced settings, I expand my margins. They would have been set here. I set them to 1 inch, and it would have been 0.5. I like it at the 0.625. And I also like to have the alignment justified and hyphens turned on. It defaults to 10 points. I change it to 11. It defaults to 1.25 spacing. I change it to 1.35. Obviously, whatever works for you is fine. You can just set up all of these settings the way you like them to look. And now let's take a look at what it actually looks like in our book. You can move from chapter to chapter. Go back and look at your front matter. So we've got the title page, copyright, table of contents, acknowledgments, dedication, epigraph, chapter 1. And then if we go through all of our chapters real quick, we'll get to the end and look at our back matter. So there we have our free preview, our also buys, our reader letter, a personal testimony. Now you'll see if I change this from iPad to print, it'll take a few minutes to calculate the page count. Now you'll see here, because this page is not included in the print book, it doesn't show. It says this chapter is not included in print. So, but if I go back one, you can see the copyright. The acknowledgments. You can see what it will look like in the print book. Let's go to the pages. You can see the LEK here and the numbers, and then the book title and the number. So you see what your page numbering and your headers look like. Then, before you leave the formatting tab, make sure that you export your PDF. If you don't export before you leave this tab, you will lose all of the changes that you made in the formatting tab. You'll keep the changes you made in the writing tab, but you will lose your formatting. Don't know why that is, don't know why you can't save it. If you click here on save, it does not save your format. So it will save the file and do some kind of sync with the online file, but it does not, the cloud file, but it does not save the actual formatting. So make sure to hit your export button, because once you do that, your file is saved and it is safe. So we'll click that. It usually takes a lot longer than that. It's going pretty quick today. Once it is done, you'll just click this little green button and save it where you want it. Then you can click to open it. Check out how everything looks. Now you'll see it doesn't look like it's centered, but that is because of your margins for your book printing. It is how you want it to be. If it looked centered, then it wouldn't be centered on the page once they bound it. So I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, looking pretty good. But you'll go through every page on your book just to be sure everything looks right. And then you can go into Amazon or Ingram Sparks or wherever you're uploading and upload your file. Thanks for hanging out with me, LEK, on The Right Angle. I'll see you in the next video.